Affirmative action, born in the mid-20th century, seeks to rectify historical discrimination by implementing proactive measures in education and employment. Designed to promote equal opportunities, it addresses systematic inequalities and fosters diversity. However, ongoing debates surround its effectiveness and potential for reverse discrimination.
In some ways, I feel like it's been marked by silence.
I think that there's only certain people who have been impacted by the decision. So those certain people that have been impacted are the only ones talking about it.
So there's this huge Supreme Court ruling that affects all of higher ed. It's so historically significant, but there hasn't really been a lot of conversation on campus, which, as a person who studies the modern Black freedom movement, I find a little bit frustrating.
I hear about it. I know in our Allen Scholar program here that I'm a part of, we talk about it, but that is the only space on campus that I've ever heard about. Like, since the summer when the decision was made, that's the only space that I've walked into where that was a topic of discussion. Everywhere else, I don't hear about it.
One thing that marks it on this campus is actually silence, despite the fact that it shapes higher ed so much.
During my short time here at the College of Worcester, I've been able to integrate myself into a family. This family was built using the platform of the Allen Scholarship. The Allen Scholarship is a race-determined scholarship that will be discontinued due to the overruling of affirmative action.
Although the Supreme Court case did not specifically talk about scholarships, the kind of larger implications of it affect scholarships. So there has been conversation about the Supreme Court case and the Allen Scholars and what is the future of Allen Scholars. So if there is a kind of challenge to that silence, it's what is the future and how are we going to change the Allen Scholarship?
Sort of. I believe that it puts our school at a disadvantage.
I think many of the minority students on campus are probably talking about the Allen Scholars.
Affirmative action was put in place so that other minorities would have resources that they did not have in the first place. That was the whole purpose of it, to give minorities opportunities, right? Educational opportunities that they could not afford. So
even though College of Worcester actually has, we're at parity, we have a good number of minority students. It's a really diverse campus. It's part of what drew me here. We're a small campus, so the community is still going to be small, even if they percentage-wise are strong.
With the decision being made to reverse those effects, it deprives us of that continuous diversity that we've always had.
So I think there's probably a lot of conversation happening amongst students about what is the future of their scholarship? What is the future of recruitment? What does this look like for people, not just my generation of students, but future generations of students who are going to come to the college?
For minorities on campus, I think that it deprives us of those relationships that we've established with each other in the future, because now we won't have, there will be a decrease that will be seen because not everyone can afford to come to the College of Worcester.
You know, some students approaching me, asking me questions, asking me to talk about affirmative action, but I'm sure it really makes them think about what is their relationship to the institution, and what would it look like for people who come behind them. I think college students always kind of, especially college students who are kind of like socially justice minded, always have this thought about, what am I leaving for the next generation? And if we're getting rid of the Allen Scholarship in the way that it's been functioning, I'm sure there are students thinking about what does this mean for future generations. I think there's a whole group of staff and administration who are closely watching the court case because it means something to recruitment.
We had some discussion, but the gist of our discussion, was that the college's hands were tied.
So right now we're interested in like, what is recruitment going to look like for next year? And we might be just thinking about it now, but for admissions, they've been thinking about it since last summer.
There's not much wiggle room with the legal actions that can be taken upon the college, which is understandable, but it's really been hard to discuss alternatives.
What is this new class of students going to look like? How are we going to recruit them? What are we going to do different? What are we going to do the same? And I know that they've been thinking about the changes that the Supreme Court case made to affirmative action, the ways in which it will shape our recruitment.
Because no one, especially the Allen Scholars, really want to just get rid of the entire program.
The Allen Scholarship is a recruitment tool, right? It's not just a scholarship that students get that allow them to stay.
I know for me, it was very beneficial to come in knowing people who look like me, because I don't see people who look like me in my classes or anything like that.
It's also a recruitment tool, so if that's no longer a tool in our work belt, what are we going to do? And I know that admissions has been thinking about that.
And it's really been beneficial and helped me establish relationships and connections with people. So I would say that there aren't many faculty members I've had this discussion with, because it's kind of just like it's not seen as prominent. It's not seen as a prominent topic.
So I think there's definitely stakeholders across the campus who are interested in what is the future and what will this look like for our campus.
When really, not only is it affecting us, it's also affecting our family members who are trying to come to college, and our sisters, our little brothers, our nieces, our nephews, and everything like that. Like, no one really thinks about that. No one puts that into perspective. Everyone just thinks, okay, well, you're already in college, so it doesn't affect you. You're fine. You'll still have your scholarship. No, it does. It does affect me. It affects me a lot. I have a younger brother, okay, and the same opportunities that I may have, he may not have.
The effects of the overruling of affirmative action would be more significant than applications without a race box. Years of continuous bonds, programs, opportunities, and so much more would be negatively impacted. Here at the College of Wooster, the effects are new but still noticeable. From the interviews, we now understand that affirmative action isn't something only affecting those who Edward Bloom appointed for his court case, but also programs and opportunities for the future of those beneath us. At the College of Wooster, there's been no official statement or transparency about the effects, but the Allen Scholarship is no longer posted on the school's website. Now that you've heard about it, what will you do to help those impacted by affirmative action?